Okay, hi. Sorry, Instagram apparently did not like what I was sharing, and it just kicked me off. It didn't even let me save it, which is quite a bummer. So anyway, I apologize. Now it's going to take everybody a minute to get back, but this is, hi friends. Sorry, it kicked me off. I don't know why. I just we ended your video. I'm like, yeah, that's apparent. Thank you so much. So again, this is the Misfit Light. So I don't know, it may do that again. It's never done that to me before. And this is Living in Harmony. Great. Cool. And then I will see if I can pin that. Great, okay. I know some of my friends that are my little regulars. So yes, so that is what, even in a 3-part harmony, right? You've got somebody singing soprano, you have somebody singing a tenor, you have all of these different voices, and so if somebody was like, we should put those together in a song, I bet it'll sound really good. The first person who heard that was like, I don't think that there's any way that could be possible. And it creates this beautiful harmony because there's different parts. Thank you so much. Thank you. There's all these different parts, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. That life is, that the idea of balance is not always truthful. That the idea that everything is always going to be steady is not true. And then we get frustrated because we're like, oh, well, if only we were doing better, right? If I could control it more, then it would be easier. And that's just not true. The reality is that life is a constant evolution of change. That is the reality. And so when we can learn to live in harmony, and what does that mean? And again, harmony is, oh my God, this is what just came through, so don't blame me. Harmony is creating beautiful music despite the dissonance, okay? Meaning, how does that relate? Okay, put it on a t-shirt, Etsy. It probably already exists, but it's the idea that you are okay despite what's going on. So that we're not always here, and when we're like, you know what I mean, as my February has been, then you're okay. Because you know that there are other parts of your life that you have set up in a way that you are creating harmony. So the reason why this is going to be a 4-part series is today we're just discussing what is harmony, what is this about, what is this series going to be, and then we're going to break it down into body, mind, and soul, right? These 3 aspects work together, work in tandem. And so much of our unhappiness, our unwellness, our disease, our frustration, our resentments come from the fact that we were treating all 3 things as separate. And some of us are not even paying attention to our souls. And however you define that, your inner voice, God, however you define it, right? So many of us aren't even paying attention to that. So of course we're living in frustration because we've only created the dissonance, but we haven't created the harmony. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do is right now we're going to go through this workbook and we're just going to get an idea and talk through for yourself, what does harmony mean? What does that mean for you? What would it feel like? What would it look like? And not realistically, okay? If right now you're like, well, I'm living in a 1-bed apartment, okay? And I'm looking for jobs and life's not great right now, Rach, okay? Totally understandable. I've been there, you know what I mean? But I'm saying dream reality. You think of harmony, what do you feel? When I think of harmony, I imagine me with a way too expensive, iced coffee that I should have not purchased. And I'm just laying, and it's the perfect sunny day where it's almost too warm, but it's not. And you can wear a hat over your face. And it's just that sense of oh, this is what being is. That's what I imagine when I think of as harmony, right? When I think of harmony, I think that me and my 2 children and my husband have made it to whatever said event we're going to with no arguing or frustration. That's harmony to me these days. Do you understand? So that's what we're going to talk about, is really getting an idea of what is that? What does it feel like? Are there elements of it that already exist in our life? So then that way, over the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, we're able to put those things back in place, okay? So that the first part will be body, because that's the physical vessel that we live in, and our bodies give us so much information all of the time. And for a lot of us, both men and women, but I'm speaking from a female lens, we have been taught that your body is valuable if it looks like blank. And then if it doesn't, oh, gross, cover it up, nobody wants it, okay? So you have not learned to listen to any cues from yourself. There's all of these things that our body does to keep us safe, to let us know, yes, it's a yes, no, it's a no, right? All these intuitional things, and we've cut ourselves off from that. And so, especially now that we have so many cues and data points coming in from other people all of the time, everywhere, on this app, all effing day long, it's exhausting. We have lost touch with what our actual GPS system is wanting to teach us. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna really focus on getting back into our body, accepting things gratefully that I can't change and change the things I can. Exactly. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna get into our bodies in the first week, and then the second week, we're gonna talk about our mind. Your mind is a processing center. It's not the place to solve all your problems or spend all day overthinking. Literally, the most overworked machine in the entire world is your brain. That's it. Your brain is here to solve things for you. It is a part of it. But in our society, we've made it all of it, which is why we have overthinking, which is why we have ADHD, which is why we have all of these things, because we're in our head so much. We're so disconnected from our body, and good luck leading from your soul. You know what I mean? You talk about that and people are like, oh, okay, hippie, right? So we have to redefine these things, if nothing else, for ourselves, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about harmony. And then over the next 3 weeks, we're going to talk about body, mind, and soul, okay? So if you have your workbook, if you don't have your workbook, you don't need to go grab it now, or you can. It's available at my link in bio. It's there every week. It's updated every week, and it's free, and it's available for you, okay? So it says, this week on the Misfit Light, Living in Harmony. Spoiler, you can create a life that lives in harmony, and you don't need millions of dollars to do so. You just need the awareness of the relationship of your body, your mind, and your soul. You know, the small stuff. So today we're going to begin a 4-part series to get us ready for the astrological new year. Now, whether you subscribe to that astro life or not, it doesn't matter, because in my humble opinion, starting a new year in spring makes way more effing sense than starting one in the dent of winter, okay? So that's what this is. This is preparing us for spring, getting us ready. If you've been doing this series with me, you already know that we did, learning in winter, preparing for spring. So you guys have already been doing a lot of that work. This is just even going to better prepare us to do that work, okay? So again, if you have not seen what these workbooks look like, this is what they look like. There's space for your notes. So as we go through, you can take notes, okay? I'm a note taker myself. All right, so here's what we've got. Living in harmony. This is a 3-part process that I want y'all to think about. Okay, 1, what does harmony feel like to me? Number 2, do I believe it's possible? This is a big one, because if you don't believe so, guess what? It's not going to happen, okay? Number 3, what do I need to sit with? This is also another very important part, because if we're not sitting with the parts of ourselves that we don't like, we're never going to get to the other side, okay? I know people are like, don't say never, and everybody's got a hot take, okay? I'm not saying that this is, I give you no hard truths in this space. Only mine, what has worked for me and what I believe to be true about our collective, okay? So let's talk about this first part. What does harmony feel like to me? Our body offers us a wealth of information if we're paying attention. So what does harmony feel like for you? And what would that look like? Meaning, in your body, what does harmony feel like? This is the other thing. So when we talk about vision boards, and I think vision is very important, okay? But I can visualize a Porsche. I could rent one. I could go. I can touch it. You know what I mean? But what does it feel like? Because that's when we talk about vibration, when we talk about frequency, and even if those words are too far out for you, just thinking about when you feel comfortable in a space versus when you feel uncomfortable. And when you already feel comfortable, when you feel attuned to that, it's going to be easier to let loose, to say, hello, how are you? You're just going to be more literally in your body, right? So that's why we want to think about, what does harmony feel like? So that way, as we begin to create it, our body will let us know, like, uh-oh, we're closer, right? It can just pull us closer and closer and closer, okay? So that's what we want to think about. So again, you can write down in your notes, what does it feel like for you? What does harmony feel like for you in your body? A lot of you will probably be like, I don't know, being in Hawaii. Fine. Again, I just want you to identify and connect with, what is that feeling? Again, it doesn't have to be reality. but what does it feel like? So when you're envisioning that, you can feel it in your body. That's what I want you to connect with, is that feeling, okay? The second part, do you believe that it's possible? Do you believe that a life of harmony is available to you? I know how it sounds, but here's the thing. It's the question worth asking. Because that's the thing. We love, oh yeah, we're going to manifest, or oh, we even go to all these retreats and we spend money we don't have, and oh yeah. And then what happens? You get home, a couple weeks wear off, and then you're like, oh yeah, well, and we don't keep up with any of the things that we said we were going to do. And it's like, okay, well, back to real life. Wrong. Stop. Let me stop you right there. Okay. Real life is allowed to be great. You are allowed to live in that harmony, in that space. Now, sure, is your life going to look like a Tibetan retreat most days? Probably not, okay? But that sense of harmony, that sense of knowing that you are in your purpose and you're connecting to that freedom and that fun and that feel good, that's available to you every single day, period, okay? So the first part is, do you believe that? And it's totally fine if you're like, no, I don't. I think this is hogwash and I'm signing off. I'm going to start my day. Completely fine. Okay. And I get it. But I am here as a testament to let you know it is possible. So I just want you to sit with that. Do you believe that it's possible and that it's available for you? Okay. And then this third part, as we wrap up here, what do I need to sit with? What do I need to sit with in order to shift my perspective? And have I been here before? Or is this the first time? Meaning, I know a lot of people, I was sharing something on, it was from my podcast last week. And if you guys are familiar with Miley Cyrus, her famous song, It's the Climb. It's all about that. It's not about the mountaintops. It's all about the climb. And so I was talking all about that. And this woman on TikTok posted, she's like, yeah, or remember, sometimes you're on the mountain and you can even get kicked off at the top too. She's like, that's what's happened to me and I'm restarting. And I was so grateful. Well, not that happened to her, but her journey is her journey. But I was so grateful that she shared that, because that's why I added this in of like, have you been here before? Like, I know for me in this journey and what I'm doing, like where I am right now is the first time I've been here. But there's a lot of linear lessons. There's a lot of things here that I've done before, right? And so really taking that time to sit with it of like, have I been here before? What worked and what didn't, right? What has happened between when I was here last time? What do I want to shift? What do I want to change? What are the things in my life that I keep saying are too hard or they're not working and I don't want to sit with? Maybe you just don't want to sit with that it's not your time yet. Okay? So whatever it is, and I'll run around talking about, no, I'm loving where I'm at. I'm loving where I'm at. Bullshit, right? That's not to say that I love my life, but I'm just saying where like there are these things all the time that we refuse to sit with, or we say aren't a problem, or all of these different things when that's just not true. Just sit with it. Can you just sit with it? Okay, it's not going anywhere. Again, how many times does it want to play out in your mind over and 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 over? And we're just like, no, we're just gonna like keep ignoring. It's like, just ask it just be like, hi, hello, what do you want, right? You wouldn't just let a stranger sit in the corner of your home and just never be like, hi, I'm sorry, are you lost? Like, that's what we do in our brains all the time. So that's such an important part of this, of what do I need to shift my perspective so that I can begin to live in harmony? Because before we can begin to move any of these physical pieces, right? I absolutely don't love where I'm at, but I've learned more about myself than ever during this time. Amen. That's exactly how I have had one of the hardest winters. Okay. And I remember in October signing off from my podcast and I was like, okay, I'm going to get quiet. I'm going to let winter do what it needs to do. And it was like, what? A slippery slope. Okay. It has been, yes, I absolutely, where it's like, man, this is not fun. My husband and I started laughing, like falling over laughing at ourselves the other night of how difficult things are in our life right now. And beautiful, we have a beautiful life. But it doesn't mean that it's not hard. And it doesn't mean that it's not challenging us and asking us to develop new skills. So I love so much, Ani, that you shared that. So yeah, before we begin, I'm sure it's all these things that you're learning about yourself and what you're wanting to pull in, right? Before we can begin to materialize them and make something of them, we really have to sit with them and figure out what is our perspective? How do we feel? So this is what I'm going to leave you with this week are those 3 questions. And then at the very bottom of our journal section on the notes, reminding you next week, we're going to cover body and then mind and then soul. So again, all of this will work together in a way. Sorry, my boys have been sick for like 2 weeks. No, I'm afraid that I've got it. So we're going to put all of this together, but really just have a thought. Something else I think is a lot of fun, something that works for me, even though earlier I was like, it's not vision boards, it's a feeling board, just whatever. Screenshots. Go through your phone, and I bet you the majority of the things that you've taken screenshots of make you feel harmonious. And whatever that means, maybe it makes you feel strong, maybe it's like something aesthetic, maybe it's a recipe, all of these things. Great question, Pam. How do I find the workbook? You can go to the link in my bio. So when we close out here, if you go to my main page and there's like a little link right there, you click that, the first part that pops up and it'll say download the Misfit Light workbook. And you can download it right there. And you know what? I will work with my co-producer Caroline next week, and we will drop it in the comments every week. This is what happens when you just start and use something. I realize that's an easy fix. We could do that for you, and you could just have that. Great question. So I'll have that for you guys. Also, I'm going to be kind of messing around with the time of these. I really love doing them Monday mornings. It feels really good starting us off for the week. But I also know it's really difficult for, yes, of course, Pam. And it's there every week for you. But I also know this time is very difficult for a lot of people because they are already like, they're on their way to work or so on and so forth. So I may do some polls and ask around what a more convenient time is. So we may be moving this to like Tuesday evenings at like a 7:30. So we'll just kind of mess around with it. So just giving you that heads up. I really like this time slot, but I understand a lot of people, it's very difficult for them. So we'll kind of mess around and see what we can do. This is not the script I wrote for myself. Trying to become vegan and had a heart attack 2 months ago. Wow. I hope you're okay, Nina. That's huge. That is huge. Yeah. Oof. I love so much. Sorry, this just hit me like a ton of bricks. The idea of like, this is not the script that I wrote for myself. And I feel that so often where I'm like, well, this isn't how I saw it going. And then I have to remember like, oh, there's something higher that's wanting to guide me and show me. So I'm really, stay close. I would love to know kind of what continues to unfold for you over the next couple of months. Amen, girl. Yeah. Of your recovery and everything. So please know that, yeah, all of my thoughts and love are with you. Yeah, exactly right. How I thought it was supposed to go. And they're going, there's something bigger. There's something better. Stay with us, right? Okay. And guys, if you liked today and what we're talking about, I cannot humbly encourage you enough. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, my friend. Oh, that is a really tough go. So much love. I cannot encourage you enough to listen to. So this week, my podcast, The Rachel LaFour Show, comes out every Thursday. This Thursday, I had a conversation with a dear friend of mine who goes by Mystic Rain. She's a spiritual influencer, a teacher, a author, and she is a mystic and a medium. And we had a conversation, and it really ended up, if you would like to hear what Rachel LaFour sounds like in therapy, that's what this episode ended up being. But this idea of like what I thought it was going to be, what I wanted to be versus what it is, right? Playing it out for the plot. We cover all of it. It is such a beautiful, dense episode. So that comes out on Thursday. So I really encourage you, if you're finding that this is resonating, go and listen to that episode. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you this week. Again, if you don't typically watch my stories, I encourage you, I think you can go and like hit like a follow button or subscribe to stories or something, because that's where I'll be putting in a lot more information about the Misfit Light, more ways to connect. And then also I'm going to be asking and polling when would be the best time for us to do this live. We're going to be doing this live for a while. And then once my husband and I are opening up a comedy club and creative flex space here in Atlanta, So once our space is up and open, then I will also have an actual live component where you can come, but I know not everybody lives in Atlanta, but we will be streaming it from there. So you'll actually get like the full kahuna as well. So right now we're working out the kinks and doing it together. So I am so grateful for your energy, for your feedback, for being here, for sharing with me. I'm really, really excited. Hi, LaToya. I'm really, really excited to spend the next 4 weeks with you. I did this as a closed workshop last year for body, mind, and soul getting aligned. And it was, good morning. It was so transformative and such a great reminder that I was like, this is something I want to do every year, of really taking a look at body, mind, and soul. And I don't know why it keeps going out. Instagram does not like me this morning. It's like, and that's the light. Okay, that's the cue. We're done. So that's it. Please go and check out this workbook. Again, this workbook will be here for you all week until Sunday. Sunday is when I shift over for the new workbook every week. So that's available to you. Again, make sure you're following in my stories, and you can, hello from Ecuador. How are you? Hello. Good morning. You can go and check to see when we're voting about when we may move this time slot so that we could all gather together a little bit more. But for now, we're going to keep it here in this Monday morning space. I love you so much. If you know somebody whose heart is hurting, that's going through something, and you really feel like they would benefit from this community and from this space, please share that with them. So much of this, it'll make me emotional. So much of this is a gift to myself, to where I was in 2017, and needing a space like this, and all of the teachers and all of the healers and people that helped me find my voice and figure out what I was doing and helped walk me through a very difficult time in my life. So much of this is a gift to that person, and it's a gift to all of us now, and a gift to myself to keep me honest and accountable. So we're going to keep doing it. Again, the Misfit Light is about comedy, consciousness, creativity, connection, and community. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Have a beautiful, wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Please use this workbook. Feel into that idea of harmony. What does that mean? And I will see you right here next week to talk all about our bodies. All right. Love you, mean it.